Imagine your own body, 30,000 years ago. You are standing in tall grass somewhere in what will one day be called Europe. It is spring. The air is so thick with pollen, it settles on your skin like yellow dust. You have never been clean. Not once. Not for a single day of your entire life. Your gut is home to a small colony of worms. And here is the strange part. You feel fine. Your eyes are not itching, your nose is not running. You are standing inside a cloud of pollen coated in dirt, sharing your body with actual parasites, and your immune system is completely, blissfully calm. Now, come back to your sealed, spotless apartment, where the floors are mopped, the water is filtered, and you have not met a parasite in your entire life. It is spring here, too, and your eyes are on fire. Your nose will not stop. You are, right now, sneezing at a flower. Did ancient humans have allergies? You would assume yes. The answer is almost the exact opposite. And the reason why is one of the strangest things your body is doing at this very moment. How new this all is. When you have a runny nose in April, it feels ancient, like hunger or sleep. It is not. Hay fever was so rare 200 years ago that a single doctor could barely find it. In 1819, an English physician named John Bostock described his own symptoms: itching eyes, sneezing, and a summer misery he could not explain. He then spent 9 years searching all of England for other cases. 9 years, he found 28 in the entire country. Today, in that same country, roughly 1 in 4 adults has hay fever. That is not a slow drift. That is an explosion. And it should feel wrong because evolution does not work that fast. Your body has not meaningfully changed since Bostock's day. Whatever is making a quarter of the population sneeze at grass, it is not in our biology. It is in our world. Something about the way we live changed, and it changed fast, and our immune systems are reacting to the change. What an allergy actually is. Here is what happens when a bee sting, or a peanut, or a lungful of pollen sets you off. Your immune system has a specialized branch. Scientists call the key weapon in it immunoglobulin E, or IgE. Think of IgE as a set of tiny alarm tags. When this branch decides something is an enemy, it prints millions of these tags shaped to lock onto that one specific target and hangs them on cells packed with chemical explosives called mast cells. The next time the target shows up, it hits the tags. The tags yank the pin, and the mast cells detonate, dumping a flood of histamine into your body. Histamine does the actual work: swelling, itching, streaming, sneezing, the throat closing up. Your allergy is not the pollen. Your allergy is your own body carpet bombing itself over a grain of flower dust. This is a fast, violent, precisely engineered weapon. And it is very old, built into the vertebrate immune system long before humans, long before anyone had a clean floor. Which means it must have been doing something important. A weapon that useless would have been discarded 100 times over. So what was it for? Worms. The entire allergic branch, the IgE, the mast cells, and the histamine appear to have evolved for one primary purpose: to fight parasites. Hookworms, roundworms, flukes, and tapeworms. Enemies too large for a normal immune cell to swallow. So the body evolved a different answer: surround the invader in chemical fire and make the tissue so inflamed and hostile that the parasite gets flushed out. The runny nose, the weeping eyes, the sudden explosive expulsion of everything. That is the weapon working exactly as designed. It just feels identical whether the invader is a hookworm or a birch tree. The busy, disciplined immune system, your ancestor in that grass field, was absolutely riddled with parasites. For most of human history, intestinal worms were not a disease. They were a default setting. Nearly everyone had them from childhood. We find them in ancient latrines, in preserved gut contents, in mummies, and in the frozen remains of people who died 5,000 years ago. Worms were simply part of what it meant to have a body. Your ancestors' allergic immune system had a full-time job. The gun was loaded and pointed at something that was actually there. It is not just that they had a target for the weapon. Living in filth was actively training their immune system to behave. From birth, your ancestor's body was flooded with input: mud, animal dander, 1,000 kinds of soil bacteria, and water that was by any modern standard a crime. Every exposure was a lesson. This is harmless. This is food, this is dirt. The immune system spent childhood being calibrated by a fire hose of the natural world, learning constantly the difference between a real threat and background noise. Your immune system has peacekeeping cells whose entire job is restraint, walking up to an overexcited immune response and telling it to stand down. Those peacekeepers get stronger and smarter the more they are exposed to harmless things early in life. In 1989, scientist David Strachan noticed that kids with lots of older siblings got hay fever less often than only children. The messier and germier your early childhood, the more your immune system learned to relax. More filth, more training, fewer allergies. So your ancestors' immune system was busy because it had actual parasites to fight and disciplined because it had been trained by an overwhelming flood of the natural world. That immune system standing in the pollen field was not going to waste its ammunition on grass. It had a hookworm to deal with. What happened when we won? Over the last 2 centuries, humanity did something no other animal has ever done. We cleaned the world. Sewers, clean water, soap, refrigeration, and deworming medication were so effective that an entire category of universal human suffering quietly vanished. We moved indoors, started being born in sterile rooms, were raised on clean floors, and were handed antibiotics at the first sign of a sniffle. It is genuinely one of the greatest achievements in the history of our species. But nobody stopped to ask what the weapon would do when the war was over. That allergic immune system did not get the memo. Evolution did not update it. It is still there, fully loaded, trained for one specific enemy that is now gone. A bored immune system is a dangerous thing. Sooner or later, it goes looking. And when it finds a harmless protein shaped vaguely like trouble, a fleck of pollen, a molecule of peanut, or a speck of cat, it does the only thing it was ever built to do. It opens fire. Here is the sharpest twist in this story. Those parasites were not just a target for the immune system. They were quietly holding it back. A worm that wants to live inside you for years has a strong interest in keeping your immune system calm. So parasites evolved to secrete chemicals that actively suppress the host's immune response. For millions of years, our immune systems developed in the constant presence of that external break. Then we removed the worms. We did not just take away the immune system's job. We took away the very thing that was helping it stay calm. We fired the enemy and the babysitter in the same move. Some people with severe allergies have started on purpose paying to be infected with hookworm, because for some of them, it works. The worm moves in, starts secreting its immune-calming chemicals, gives that restless system an enemy and a break simultaneously, and the symptoms ease. We spent 10,000 years trying to get the worms out of the human body. Now there are people in clean modern cities quietly buying them back. It turns out the body missed them. The answer and what it means. As far as we can reconstruct, ancient humans almost certainly did not have allergies. Not in any way you would recognize. They carried the weapon. Every human does. But it was aimed at a real enemy and disciplined by a lifetime of dirt, so it had neither the reason nor the itch to fire on a flower. Your itching eyes are not a sign that something has gone wrong with you. They are a sign of how astonishingly safe your life is. You are sneezing at pollen because you have never had to fight a worm. Your nose is running because your water is clean, your childhood was scrubbed, and your body has spent its whole life without a single one of the enemies it was actually designed to face. Every allergy is a receipt, proof of a life so protected that your immune system never found the war it was built for and went looking for a smaller one. Your ancestor in that pollen field, covered in dirt and hosting a family of worms, would not have understood your allergy at all. That a person could be so free of every real threat, so clean and safe, that their own body would get bored and start a fight with a flower. To them, that would not sound like a disease. It would sound like paradise. If this changed how you think about your own body, share it. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more science hiding inside questions you never thought to ask.